and welcome to today's debate on how the internet and social media is affecting the lives of young people. This debate, taking place today on Safer Internet Day, seeks to bring together 6 young adults from 3 different countries, Ireland, Slovenia, and the UK, to discuss a topic that is very much about them, but often leaves them out.
My name is Simon. I'm here in the UK with Sophia and Damien from the City of Bristol College. We're going to start the presentation here in the UK by considering a BBC podcast by Alex Koslowski. Damien, would you like to give a brief summary of Digital Human?
So Digital Human talks about where people are anonymous online, where they have a mask on basically. So it talks about how people don't feel like they can get any punishment of sorts by doing stuff online, so it could cause them to try and misbehave badly like they wouldn't in actual life. So they could be a very lovely person in life, but when they go online, because they feel freedom and they feel like they are unknown, they will misbehave.
In the interview of a troll, the self-professed troll suggests trolling is just seeking a reaction from another person, whereas cyberbullying is something more harmful. Do you think there is a distinction between cyberbullying and trolling?
Well, if there is, it's a really slim one, because it depends on how someone interprets it. Because if you're seeking a reaction and the person was provoking them in a negative way, therefore I'd say that it is cyberbullying at the same time, because you're obviously looking for a reaction, but you're doing it negatively. So it's not like you're trying to find a reaction from someone by doing something positive, by complimenting their work. You're trying to do it by trolling and saying something bad, which will affect them in the end, in my opinion. Because if you troll someone's work and say that they're not very good at what they do, or they will try to say things about them, it will knock your confidence and you will feel bad about it afterwards, in my opinion.
Have you ever felt threatened by people online?
Yeah, I've been threatened by people online quite a few times, where I will put up my own views and my own personal opinions, but they will question them, but not in a positive way, not where I can talk to them about it. They'll go, "You're wrong," or say things that are quite hurtful. And at first, when I was about 16, so about 2 years ago, I couldn't handle it. It was too much for me. And now I see that it's just people trying to cause a reaction. So it depends on how mature you are, I reckon, and what understanding you have of the internet and what people do on the internet.
What do you think is the best way to respond when somebody does that?
I just say, in my eyes, respond positively to them, because they will want a negative reaction. They will want someone to start up something like an argument or a debate, and if you say, "Oh, okay, thanks for your opinion," or say, "I don't mind, you can think what you want to think," that will automatically knock them down, because they'll think, "Well, I have no point in trying to troll here," because they can't cause a reaction. So if you don't let them cause a reaction, then they won't try and do it and pursue it. Because if they see you're actually hurt and you care about what they said, they'll pursue it and try and troll you more, so that they can have even more of a reaction.
I just don't react to the kind of stuff. I completely ignore it. Like, even if someone else says, tries to put me down, even if it's not online or whether it's online, I just completely ignore it. For me, it's like, I don't know you, so I don't think your opinion really matters to me. But I know there are people, like my little brother still, he suffered from bullying. They do care. In those situations, what I think they should do, they should ask for help, someone they love, someone they trust. I think it's like the best way for them to dissolve that problem, for them to solve it, is to ask for help. And trust me, there will people who understand them, because at some point in life, everyone's been through that. So
I don't know if you've been following the news in Ireland and Slovenia, but in the UK we've recently seen the introduction by the UK government of web filters for young people. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, I reckon it saves. It can be helpful, but people will find a way of going around it. It will happen, I reckon. There will be barriers put in place, but people always try to find a way around it, because what people do, like the program said they will try and make themselves feel better. Like the podcast said that they sort of find it like a place where they can escape sort of thing, and they won't be themselves, and their personalities will be completely different to what they will act in like in person. Like in the podcast it said that she bumped into this guy who was giving her hate online on the forum, and he came up to her and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I actually didn't mean all those things I said, and yeah, I apologise for actually saying those mean things. I don't know why I said them. It's not usually me that acts like that." So people find the internet and forums like this, I reckon, a way of channeling their own negativities into others and trying to like take out how they feel. So
What about you, Sophia?
I think with this, you have to. There's no solution. There's no there wouldn't be a solution to stop people using it and young children. What I think their parents should do is all about parents, because they are our role models. I look up to my parents. I think they should sit down and have a chat with their children about using online, to tell them what it can do to you and how you have to use it safely. And I think they should tell their children about some consequences about using online. I think that could help a lot.
as she said in the podcast, that she didn't affect anybody's life, because that's bullying where it affects someone's life. However, someone trolling someone will get someone else involved, which will then hurt them or bully them, which means that actually the troll there has affected someone's life outside of social networking. So that means that actually being their troll there, she motivated someone else to do something to hurt that person, which means she's motivating someone to do bullying, therefore she is cyberbullying herself. It's easier to talk to people online because you don't have to have face-to-face contact, which is easier to portray how you feel and what you're talking about online, because you don't feel as stressed or as pressured. And myself, I've met some amazing people through Facebook, even though I started speaking to them over Facebook, and then I went to a few things that are called Facebook meetups, and then we got together and we got to know each other. And even though there is some fake profiles out there and things, I have made some of the best friends that I've got right now thanks to Facebook, and I've made such a great connection with them. So it depends who you talk to, and if you're careful, and if you don't do something stupid like send out naked photos of yourself or share too personal information, then you'll be fine.
Do you guys have any thoughts on Simon's discussion of trolling and the difference between that and cyberbullying?
I think there is a difference between trolling and cyberbullying. I think trolling is more so a random attack, you could say, just something that happens random, like as in bullying, where it's kind of directed at somebody. It happens, it's repeated, obviously, because that's what bullying is. It's a repeated thing. Where trolling is maybe a once-off sort of fad, you could say. It only happens maybe, if it happens to you regularly enough, then it's obviously bullying. But if it only happens to you once, maybe it's just a random attack by somebody on the internet, or by somebody you know, or by somebody that you go to school with, or somebody in your area, for example. So I think there is a difference between bullying and trolling. I don't think trolling as severe as bullying, you could say, as in the kind of the way it goes about, as in bullying. It's manipulative, well, not manipulative, but it's very personal, yeah, where trolling's probably more as a broad outlook of like something that you can get off your Facebook profile or your Twitter profile. So yeah, I think trolling is kind of, there is a difference between trolling and bullying. I don't think it's exactly the same. I don't think the kind of
Yeah, it's not direct.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You would agree with that, Claire? Yeah. And what do you think, maybe from the perspective of the person who's trolling? Do you think there's a difference from that perspective of the person who's doing the trolling or the cyberbullying? Do you think they have different intentions?
I think like the word troll, it's used a lot for like memes and as jokes, whereas like bullying is to hurt someone directly. Whereas like the internet meaning for like troll is, oh my god, you're a troll. Like it's not usually as hard as bullying. So I would agree with you.
Yeah.
So perhaps.
If you've got something to say after seeing the issues raised in today's debate, you can join the conversation online at generationz.eu or on social media using the hashtag #SmarterThanEver.